Welcome to another episode of Undercard Heroes. My name is Francisco.
And I'm Heather.
And this week we're going to be doing a recap on how we did with our bets from last week. And we're going to give you three more picks for this weekend's fight card. Cory Sandhagen versus Deiveson Figueiredo. Ready?
Let's do it.
Let's get it. Last week we had a 6-leg parlay that we split into 2 3-leg parlays. The 6 didn't hit. Neither did the one of the 3 legs, but this one hit, and it puts us up $27.82. If you remember from the last video, we started with $100, and now we're at $127.82. The miss from last week coming from Michelle Pajeda and Jimmy Flick.
Since I'm new to the UFC, Francisco is going to explain his picks to me.
All right. So, first fight I want to talk about this week is Montel Jackson versus Daniel Marcos. Now, Montel Jackson, I think that he is a surging prospect. 5-fight win streak, 3 by knockout, and a really impressive win over Damon Blackshear. I think he's coming in with a ton of confidence. He's got the power. But his competition here, Daniel Marcos, he is undefeated in the UFC. He's undefeated, 2 here in the UFC, and most of his come through gritty decision victories, and so I think that the matchmakers may be setting this one up for a highlight reel win knockout for Montel Jackson. So I'm betting Montel Jackson to win this one. I think they're really setting him up here for that knockout win.
So one thing that I noticed when I'm just looking at these numbers here is that Montel Jackson's reach is significantly longer than Daniel Marcos, and I was wondering if that is where a lot of his power comes from.
I think it's definitely going to give him an advantage in striking. Like I said, I think he's going to get the knockout in this one, and that reach, I think, will be a huge advantage for him going into this fight.
Makes sense.
All right, so next one I want to talk about, I've got a lot of opinions about this one. Reinier de Ridder versus Bo Nickal, RDR. RDR, this guy is a former ONE FC champion. Only 2 losses on his record. He's come into the UFC. He's had 2 fights already in the UFC. Both of them he's won by submission, and that was over submission specialist in Gerard Meerschaert, and also submission over Kevin Holland. And Kevin Holland's no slouch. So for him to get those submission wins, I think that was huge for him. And then on the other hand, you've got Bo Nickal, 3-time national champion, collegiate wrestler from Penn State. And the hype for Bo Nickal is it's been insane. And I was on the hype train, but then what really did it for me was UFC 300. Bo Nickal was a minus 1,400 favorite to win that fight, and he just didn't perform like a minus 1,400 should. After the first round, I had friends that were betting on Cody Brundage to get the upset win there, so I was not impressed by that. And then his most recent fight with Paul Craig just really emphasized that for me. Paul Craig, submission specialist. Bo Nickal wouldn't even take him to the ground. Overall, pretty boring fight. He's still new to the UFC, only 7 fights, but I think that he's going to get tested here by Reinier, and I think Reinier gets the win by submission, maybe gets a decision, but I think that the hype train comes to a stop here for Bo Nickal.
I noticed that Reinier is from the Netherlands. Is that... I hardly ever hear about fighters from the Netherlands. Is that right?
Yeah, I can't think of too many fighters that are on the roster now from the Netherlands. There have been some great fighters in the past. Bas Rutten, Alistair Overeem, they were all from the Netherlands. But yeah, this could be the next big name from the Netherlands in the UFC.
Up and coming.
Last fight I want to talk about, the main card here. This is Cory Sandhagen versus Deiveson Figueiredo. I love Figueiredo. I think that he was a great champion at flyweight. Really good fighter, very talented. I just think that he's starting to come kind of to the end of his career here. And Cory Sandhagen is just a monster. I mean, he's got a definite size advantage over Figueiredo. He's one of the bigger bantamweights, and so I think he's going to give Figueiredo a lot of problems, and I think the winner of this fight is going to go right into that title contention at bantamweight. But I mean, the next three are just killers. You've got Umar, you've got Jan, Sean O'Malley, and so this is a pretty stacked division. You know, and I hate to go against Figueiredo on this one, but I think Cory Sandhagen gets the win.
Now, this is definitely a beginner question. I noticed that you talked about two different bantamweight fights tonight, or today, and I'm wondering why these particular fighters were matched up with each other. What makes them a better match than if you had mixed them around?
Yeah, so these guys, you know, Sandhagen, Figueiredo, they're top 5 in the bantamweight division, 4 and 5. So you know, it makes sense for them to fight each other, bigger name appeal. Montel Jackson he's you know, barely ranked. He's number 15 in the bantamweight division. And then Marcos is unranked, so it just, you know, makes more sense for them to put these bigger names together to headline this fight night. That
makes sense. They're definitely more experienced, and that's going to be a more exciting fight maybe.
Yep, more experienced, more of a fan favorite. I think Montel Jackson he's coming up, so, you know, maybe we'll see him headlining some fight cards here soon.
Yeah, that's exciting.
For this parlay, we've got Montel Jackson at -220, Reinier de Ridder +250, and Cory Sandhagen -475. Total 3-leg parlay for this. Payout is +519. I'm going to bet $25 to win $154.79. I'm going to do things a little bit differently for this one because we only have 3 picks. What I'm going to do is a $25 2-pick round robin. And so what that means is that any combination of 2 wins, you can see the payouts here. And if all 3 hit, that's $100 to win $432.75. Thanks again for watching Undercard Heroes.
So, how did we do? Did you agree with Francisco's picks? Is there anything that we missed? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
And tune in for our next video where we go over how these picks did, and we give you recommendations for the next fight card.
See you next time!